Episode 164, Soul Land DouLuo DaLu Original Novel, subscribes, likes and comments. Chapter 197. Devil Island? Sea God Island? TL by Bagelson. Grandmaster said. Spirit Hall calls that place Devil Island 1, but I know its true name, Sea God Island 2. The spirit masters living there call themselves Children of the Sea. Ever since returning in defeat that time, Spirit Hall has never dared have designs on that place. If I'm not mistaken, on that island should be at least one most powerful spirit master, just the peak title DouLuo sword DouLuo spoke of, powers above the 95th rank. Even 99th rank title DouLuo. Otherwise, how could Spirit Hall not retaliate after suffering such a large loss? Another reason is that the people living on Sea God Island won't leave the island. Tang San curious said. There's actually such a bizarre place in the Spirit Master world, how come I've never heard of it before? Grandmaster sighed, saying. If possible, I wouldn't want you to ever come into contact with the Spirit Masters there. Previously I never thought you would, so naturally I didn't tell you. Tang San asked. Then have you gone to Sea God Island? Grandmaster nodded. I went once. The time Spirit Hall attacked Sea God Island. At that time I was together with Bibi Dong, heard about such a mysterious place and went with them. There I learned that the Spirit Master world still has such a group of mysterious Spirit Masters nobody has heard about. Not only are they mysterious, but extremely powerful. Spirit Masters like us are extremely unsuited to dealing with them. The reason why Sea God Island is known as Devil Island to Spirit Hall is because of the battle that time. But in fact, even though Sea God Island's Spirit Masters are very difficult to deal with, they really aren't people addicted to killing. They have all stayed there for generations, calling themselves the Children of the Sea, also known as Sea Spirit Masters. The spirits they possess are also quite bizarre, for the most part related to aquatic creatures. Therefore, their spirit abilities also have substantial differences from ours. Sea God Island is located in the Great Ocean to the west of the continent. There, these spirit masters with water creature type spirits can undoubtedly display their greatest degree of strength. There are also numerous bizarre spirit beasts on the Sea God Island. Consequently, I think that place can be considered a special spirit beast forest. Tang San asked. How many sea spirit masters are there? Grandmaster said. Every human living on Sea God Island is a spirit master. By a conservative estimate, there are at least 2,000, or even more. The reason I estimate there is a peak rank title DouLuo there, is because the few title DouLuo that Spirit Hall killed mentioned a Lord Sea God. Judging by their expressions and tones, they really weren't praying to some god, but rather addressing a person with paramount power on Sea God Island. And those sea spirit masters already had title DouLuo level strength. To be able to make them so respectful, it would naturally be someone with peak DouLuo strength, maybe even a unique 99th rank DouLuo. Having heard Grandmaster's account, in Tang San's mind was already drawn a simple outline of the Sea God Island. Teacher, you mean to let me go to Sea God Island for experience? Grandmaster nodded. Sea God Island. It's undoubtedly a place brimming with all kinds of danger. However, it's also full of opportunities. Sea Spirit Masters aren't fond of killing, as long as outsiders who go there can pass their test, they can live there and become Sea Spirit Masters. Just one thing, after becoming Sea Spirit Masters, they can't leave. This is a rule of Sea God Island. That time Spirit Hall climbed Sea God Island in a hostile manner, and even killed some Sea Spirit Masters, provoked a strong reaction from the Sea Spirit Masters, and in the end only 100 people returned from that all-out attack. You can see how powerful those Sea Spirit Masters are. With your talent and ability, I'm not worried about you leaving for Sea God Island. I would assume the trial wouldn't be any problem. But most important is that you return from there. All this will rely on you getting a feel for things on your own. For you to return to the continent from the Great Sea you will have to face the pursuit of Sea God Island. I have to remind you that all the Spirit Masters on Sea God Island are suited to marine combat. Even just a Spirit DouLuo level Sea Spirit Master can destroy title DouLuo level landbound Spirit Masters in the sea. You absolutely cannot think you can easily leave that place because you can fly. On Sea God Island there's a kind of Spirit Master whose spirits are seagulls, and there's a title DouLuo level among them. Its speed can't compare to your Tang Sex Elder Baihe, but there's no chance for you to escape by relying on Spirit Bone Flight. If you can successfully return from Sea God Island, then your strength will have advanced in all aspects. Tang San hesitated slightly, then said. Teacher, the 7-sect reselection assembly will begin in half a year's time. If I go now, I'm afraid I won't be able to participate. If everything proceeds as Spirit Hall wants, then it will be even more difficult to confront them later. Grandmaster smiled calmly, saying, Do you believe that we can stop Spirit Hall from accomplishing their goals in the 7-sect reselection assembly by relying on our current strength? That's basically impossible. Spirit Hall will enter a flourishing stage for at least the next 5 years. However, they still won't lightly attack the 2 great empires. Spirit Hall destroying our Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Clan and 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School is actually a bit hasty. Spirit Hall admittedly holds an absolute advantage in terms of Spirit Masters, but the strength of those kingdoms and duchies they control is still unable to compete with the 2 great empires. If Heaven Do Empire and Star Luo Empire watch out for each other, even Spirit Hall won't dare act without thinking. Otherwise, if a war breaks out, I'm afraid the population of the continent will fall by an order of magnitude. If it falls to the chaos of war, not only won't Spirit Hall obtain any substantial benefits, but will instead incur the hatred of the populace. So, by my estimate, after Spirit Hall has established their supremacy in the Spirit Master world one step further through the 7-sect reselection assembly, they will accelerate the development of those kingdoms and duchies to increase their strength, progressively nibbling away at the 2 great empires, and not focusing on destructive attacks. The 2 great empires have been deep-rooted on the continent for a long time, completely nibbling them away isn't something done in an afternoon. At the same time, the 2 great empires will focus their governance under the pressure. Even though Spirit Hall holds the overall advantage, to eat 2 great empires is still an endless process. This time we've already stopped all pretense of cordiality with Spirit Hall, and your defeating Qianrongxiu should also be something they will attach importance to. For you to leave to increase your strength for a time, is the best choice. An attack with accumulated strength will be most effective. Listening to Grandmaster's analysis, Tang San couldn't help nodding repeatedly. Even though he was intelligent, how could his insight into continental politics be as incisive as Grandmaster? While secretly admiring Grandmaster, he revealed an expression of sudden understanding. Grandmaster's words gave him a feeling of a wide panorama suddenly opening up. Grandmaster sighed, then said, What I'm most worried about is whether you can safely return from Sea God Island. Before truly facing them, you won't understand just how dreadful the Spirit Masters there are. Their sea spirits are for the most part water attributed, with innumerable bizarre abilities. Tang San by now had a reasoning in his mind. Teacher, let me go. If I can't pass the test of this experience, how can I confront Spirit Hall? I will definitely turn the pressure to momentum, to increase my strength even faster. Once I return, it will be time for us to start moving. Tang Sek's hidden weapon manufacturing requires time, and I'm not much help by myself. I believe I will definitely be able to return from Sea God Island. Grandmaster smiled, he had already guessed Tang San's decision. It's not you, it's you all. Don't tell me you'd be willing to leave Xiaowu behind? Bring her. It's not just you who needs experience, there's also the rest of you Shrek 7 Devils. They all face similar bottlenecks as you, all of you will have to pay some to advance your strength. Moreover, with all of you together, you will be able to look out for each other. 7 Devils. Tang San stared blankly a moment, puzzled looking at Grandmaster. Grandmaster smiled slightly. I've already discussed with Flender. Ma Hongjun is no problem. As for Schoolmaster Ning, I talked to him yesterday. Even if he's somewhat hesitant, I believe I can move him. When you left for Zhengzhen City last time, I sent out a letter. I believe it should already have reached Mubai and Zuking. This is a difficult experience, or you might call it an opportunity. If it's not you 7 devils moving together, how could I be at ease? Seeing at Grandmaster's gentle gaze, Tang San's eyes gradually grew hazy. He knew that his teacher had long ago considered his future way for advancement, and that he had always silently done a lot for him. A few years had passed, and the hair at Grandmaster's temples was already somewhat grey. In Tang San's heart, Grandmaster's place was no lower than that of Tang Hao, he had even paid much more than Tang Hao had for him. Go. Aren't you going to return to the Clear Sky School as well? Once you're back from the Clear Sky School, Mubai and the others should also be about ready. I still have some work to do on Schoolmaster Ning's side. You 7 are our future trump card for contending against Spirit Hall. I believe you will definitely return from a rewarding journey to Sea God Island this time. Bringing Xiaowu out of the Imperial Palace, Tang San was unable to control his heart for a long time. Everything that Grandmaster had silently done for him filled his heart. He naturally wouldn't say anything, but he always recorded these feelings. In his heart, he had always had two fathers. On the whole way from the imperial palace, all the imperial guards that saw Tang San would kneel with one knee and salute. Because at Tang San's waist hung an only infant's fist-sized jade pendant. That jade pendant was also a seal, and its previous owner was Heaven Do Emperor Shuiye. Emperor Shuiye had already retaken control over the government, and simultaneously announced 4th Prince Shuibeng as Crown Prince successor. Prince Shuixing was chief overseer over the imperial armed forces. That day when Emperor Shuiye had awoken, Tang San had naturally guessed what was going on. The reason Ning Fengzi asked him to leave the room that time was to protect him. Even if Tang San didn't know just what Ning Fengzi had done, he could completely imagine that this 7-treasure glazed tile school master had definitely used some special means to arouse Emperor Shuiyi's hidden life potential. Doing so could admittedly let this regent wake up as soon as possible to take control over the situation, but with his organs already failing, it would undoubtedly also shorten his lifespan even more. Emperor Shuiyi wouldn't be unaware of this when he woke up. Even if a regent like him didn't realize it as soon as he woke up, he would definitely figure it out with time. Even if he currently needed the 7-treasure glazed tile school, who could speak for the future? This matter would definitely turn into a thorn between the imperial family and the 7-treasure glazed tile school. Tang San quite admired Ning Fengzi's prompt decision-making, and that he would ask him to step outside first showed his goodwill towards the Tang sect. What he said that day about him looking after Ning Rongrong, was actually about looking after the 7-treasure glazed tile school. Whether Ning Fengzi wanted to admit it or not, ever since the attack by Spirit Hall, the 7-treasure glazed tile school had begun to decline, just like the Clear Sky School back then. It seemed this would happen to every great sect. But the Tang sect was different. Also a spirit master sect, the Tang sect not only had an extremely close relationship with the Shrek Academy, and the events this time also had a decisive effect. One might say they saved Emperor Shuiye and the Heaven Do imperial family. Even though Emperor Shuiye didn't pass on any excessive rewards, he naturally wouldn't forget this favor. Viewing it from another angle, compared to the 7-treasure glazed tile school, such a young sect was easier to control for the Heaven Do imperial family. As long as the Tang sect made enough contributions to the empire, their position in Heaven Do would be sure to be unshakable. With these deep thoughts, Tang San grew even thirstier for improving his own strength. No matter the Heaven Do empire's bearing towards him in the future, without the foundation of formidable strength, all this was an illusion. And in order to deal with Spirit Hall, he equally needed to draw on the vast manpower and resources of the Heaven Do empire. Since the Tang sect had chosen to attach itself to the Heaven Do empire, their future relationship would require sharing both peace and hardship. As for the incumbent Crown Prince Shuibeng, Tang San was on the contrary not worried. Even after he took the throne after Emperor Shuiye passed away in the future, as long as he wasn't an idiot, the structure wouldn't change. Always suppressed by Jian Rongxiu posing as Shuiking He, but always able to stay alive, one could imagine how deep he had hidden. Even though such a person wasn't easy to deal with, at least he would be a qualified ruler. Even if the Heaven Do Empire didn't continue 10,000 steps down the road, secretly relocating the Tang sect wasn't anything difficult. Don't forget that the Shrek 7 Devils boss, Evil Eye White Tiger Dai Mubai, was the crown prince of Star Luo Empire. On the way back to the sect, Tang San thought about many things. After one by one arranging all kinds of things in his heart, he felt even more deeply that Grandmaster stood tall and saw far. Him leaving for a while could not only ease the tensions between Heaven Do Empire and Spurty Hall, but moreover also avert him becoming the target of numerous arrows if he stayed. Who could say whether Spirit Hall would send experts to assassinate him? And right now Spirit Hall at least weren't too clear about the Tang sect he had established. As long as he left, it would be even easier for the Tang sect to enter a phase of smooth development. With the backing of the 7-treasure glazed tile school and the imperial family, him not being present was basically not a problem. Having thought all this through, Tang San had also resolved to go on a journey for a while. Improving his strength and steadily developing the Tang sect was the best choice. Extremism would only lead to ruin. Even if the current Clear Sky School already possessed 6 title DouLuo level powers, after listening to what Sword DouLuo Chen Xin said that day, Tang San truly understood why his grandfather would choose to retreat back then. At present the Clear Sky School might be said to possess the greatest strength in 100 years, with 6 title DouLuo. But in fact, besides Sect Master Tang Xiao, the other 5 elders were only just titled DouLuo. With their age it was basically impossible to attack the heights above the 95th rank. Even Tang Xiao might not reach the 99th rank within 50 years. How could this contend against Spirit Hall? Who knew how many exceptional powers hid within Spirit Hall? Unconsciously, Tang San had already led Xiao Wu back to the Tang sect. Just as he entered the great gates, he heard someone screaming. "AAA Sister Chen Xiang, you can't do this to me. Even if you don't agree, you still can't beat me, alright. Hey, who's your sister Chen Xiang? Why don't you drop dead, you damned fatty, you have the impertinence to go talk drivel with grandpa, I won't play with you." Seeing a round massive shadow thrown in his direction, Tang San couldn't help but display a slight smile. Right hand waving and warding, he shifted the impulse of the object to the side. Before he had finished his movement, an incomparably swift white silhouette had already reached him, one foot kicking at that massive shadow. "What are you singing about?" Tang San somewhat helplessly pulled Ma Hongzhen aside, that plump figure was naturally this fatty. Ma Hongzhen was intelligent and hastily dodged, hiding behind Tang San and Xiao Wu, furtively glancing at that white silhouette already standing in front of Tang San, Speed Hall Master Bai He's granddaughter Bai Chen Xiang. Bai Chen Xiang crossed her arms at her waist with a seething appearance. Because of anger, her charming face had 2 smears of captivating red, like rouge, making her even more beautiful. Seeing Fatty hide behind Tang San and Xiao Wu, she still didn't agree to drop it. "Damned Fatty, get out here. If you have the skill, don't hide behind the sect master. Cousin, you have to be the judge for me. This damned Fatty wants to kill me." Tang San laughed out loud, hastily saying. "Fine, fine, I'll judge. Cool your temper first, then tell me what bloody atrocity Fatty has committed to make you so furious." Ma Hongzhen swiftly stuck his head out, and was just about to speak up, but was forced back by Bai Chen Xiang's fierce glare. It was strange, really. Even though Ma Hongzhen was ordinarily cheerful and easygoing, his heart was actually as hard as iron. Among the Shrek 7 devils, he only feared Dai Mubai and Tang San. To outsiders, he wouldn't agree to be at a disadvantage. But confronted with Bai Chen Xiang's pouting glare he was actually speechless, with an appearance of grabbing his ears and scratching his chin. Bai Chen Xiang pouted angrily. "This damned fatty actually went to my grandfather to propose marriage. And my grandfather actually agreed. And even wanted me to be nicer to him. Cousin, you have to judge on my behalf. This damned fatty clearly doesn't have good intentions. I'd rather marry pigs or dogs than him." Listening to Bai Chen Xiang, Tang San also couldn't help staring blankly. Fatty going to Bai He to propose marriage was something he could understand, even if Fatty's methods were a bit direct, but if he could have Bai He's approval he could naturally do half the work for twice the effect. But what puzzled Tang San was why Bai He would agree. And agree without even consulting Bai Chen Xiang. This was a bit strange. In fact, even if Bai Chen Xiang couldn't compare to Xiao Wu, she was still an outstanding beauty, and her scope was naturally extremely high. Fatty's figure wasn't particularly pleasing either. Could it be because Fatty was a Tang sect hall master? Impossible. Bai He was even previously the Speed clan chief, and also his granduncle. Seeing Bai Chen Xiang close to tears, Tang San hastily said. "Chen Xiang. Did granduncle really agree to you two marrying?" Bai Chen Xiang nodded sharply. "I don't know what potion this damned fatty poured into grandfather, but he actually really agreed. I went to argue with grandfather, and grandfather even said that he is a good person, and that getting along would become habit, and to think about his good points. What good points does this damned fatty have? Pork." Ma Hongzhen couldn't quite hold back. "Sister Chen Xiang, you can't say that. I have a lot of good points. Everyone praises me as a young gentleman untainted by even a speck of dust, an honest and reliable elegant youth. Hey, I think your cheek is 3 times thicker than the city walls. Absolutely shameless. I've never seen anyone as shameless as you. Humph, anyway, I'm not marrying you. Not even if grandfather agreed. At worst I'll just run away." Tang San somewhat helplessly shook his head, saying. "All right, Sister Chen Xiang, don't be upset. I'll go chat with granduncle. As long as you don't want it, nobody will force you. Not Fatty either." Ma Hongzhen looked at Tang San with wide eyes. "Third brother, isn't your elbows turned the wrong way? I finally managed to get Elder Bai's approval." Tang San shot Fatty a meaningful glance. Feelings go two ways, don't tell me you really want to force Chen Xiang. Ma Hongzhen stared blankly a moment. He and Tang San had been together for a long time, and seeing Tang San's expression, he had nothing to say. Bai Chen Xiang clearly relaxed a lot, looking at Tang San and Xiao Wu next to him, then again fiercely glaring at Fatty, saying, "Cousin, I'll ask for your help with this. No matter what, if you judge on my behalf, we can agree." Tang San nodded slightly. "Don't worry, as I said, as long as you don't want it, nobody will force you." Bai Chen Xiang left happily. Tang San was the sect master of Tang sect, his words naturally weighed very heavily. Once Bai Chen Xiang had bounced off, Ma Hongzhen couldn't help asking. "Third brother, you're..." Tang San glanced at him, saying, "Forcefully twisted melons aren't sweet. Even though your methods are direct, you can't be overeager, otherwise you'll have the opposite result. Didn't granduncle agree to you too? Thus, the only resistance to wooing Chen Xiang is herself. I will help you, but whether you can gain her affection is still up to you." Fatty nodded forcefully. "Third brother, I'm sincere this time. I guarantee I'll be good to her. I'll listen to you, I will definitely move her with my sincerity." Even though he said so, his expression was clearly a bit disappointed. Evidently, even he himself wasn't too optimistic. In terms of appearance, he really didn't match Bai Chen Xiang. Tang San lowered his voice, speaking a few sentences next to Ma Hongzhen's ears. Ma Hongzhen was stunned at first, but in a moment turned from grief to happiness. "Third brother, is that true?" Tang San nodded. "Among us Shrek 7 devils, just you still don't have a place to return to. If I can help you I will. However, as I said, success still depends on you yourself. Keep in mind that true friends are revealed through trials and tribulations. Remember how little Ao got Wrong's affection? Take out your sincere feelings." Leaving behind the excitedly pondering Ma Hongzhen, Tang San brought Xiao Wu back to the sect master's mansion, and ordered sect disciples to call over the hall masters. Before long, Speed Hall Master Bai He, Medicine Hall Master Yang Wudi, Defense Hall Master Niu Gai, Strength Hall Master Tai Tan, as well as Martial Hall Master Ma Hongzhen and the equally ranked Ning Rongrong and Oscar all arrived in the sect master mansion's discussion hall. Tang San sat in the main seat, everyone else sitting after saluting him one by one. The sect had the rules of a sect, and this etiquette was something the 4 single attribute clan chiefs had demanded. "Hall Master Tai, what is Elder Lu Gao busy with?" Tang San saw that Lu Gao didn't come with Tai Tan, and asked him. Tai Tan smiled wryly. "Lu Gao, that old fellow, he's even more obsessed with forging than I am. These days he really doesn't pay any attention to outside matters, supervising the Strength Hall disciples in forging all day. However, with his directions, I can also relax." Tang San nodded, then turned towards everyone. "At present our Tang sect can be considered having stepped onto the right track. Before long, the first patch of hidden weapons will be complete. For the moment we have no plans to recruit disciples. Calling everyone over this time is mainly to discuss something with you. I talked to Grandmaster today. At present us Shrek 7 devils have all reached bottlenecks to some degree, and in order to keep progressing, we need to take alternative routes. I'm planning to temporarily leave the Tang sect business to you elders, and go on a journey somewhere that suits cultivation for a while. Not only I will go. Wrong, Oscar and Ma Hongzhen will all go with me." Defense Hall Master Niu Gao said. "Putting effort into cultivating is a good thing. However, Sect Master, how long will you be gone?" Tang San said. "I don't know either. There are certain dangers where we're going. It's places that can give us pressure that are more advantageous to the advancement of our strength. As for how long before we can return, I can't say. As for logistics, with both Wrong and Oscar away with me, I'll ask School Master Ning and His Majesty to look after the Tang sect." Hearing Tang San say he didn't know how long he would be gone, the 4 elders were all a bit quiet. After a long time, Yang Wudi took the lead to speak up. "Sect Master, you all go. Leave the Tang sect to us. Where the Tang sect is, we are." He spoke like he did about his soul-breaking spear. Where the person was, the spear was, if the spear broke, the person died. Even if Yang Wudi wasn't talkative, his words carried a great deal of weight. Tai Tan said. "Sect Master, we understand. You're going to cultivate to grow stronger, to contend against Spirit Hall in the future. However, you can't forget that, as the master of the Tang sect, great responsibility lies with you. The Tang sect can't be a headless dragon for too long. Tang San nodded, paraphrasing what Grandmaster said about the current situation on the continent. I understand all of your concern. Elder Yang once confronted the enemies from Spirit Hall with me. I believe all of you understand the immense power that Spirit Hall possesses. No matter what point of view, we are at an absolute disadvantage. The Tang sect needs powers, and if we, the young generation, can't grow quickly, we will be in an even more passive situation in the future. I've already thought it over clearly, and I believe that no matter what dangers we face, we will definitely return safely. After thinking deeply for a moment, Tai Tan resolutely said. Then good. Sect Master, leave without worries. Leave the Tang sect to us. We'll combine the Medicine Hall's medicaments and our Strength Hall's hidden weapons like we discussed, making a batch of excellent hidden weapons. We'll first equip the 7 treasure glazed tile school, then ourselves. What we manufacture beyond that we'll sell to the Heaven Do Imperial family. We'll need a very long time to manufacture large quantities of hidden weapons. I believe that, once you return, our Tang sect will truly be established. Tang San said. I talked it over with teacher. In the future our Tang sect will only recruit disciples tested through the Shrek Academy, and with teacher's recommendation. Like this we can maintain the quality of our disciples. With Ma Hongjun away with me, Martial Hall will temporarily be left to Uncle Niu Ben's charge. Among the second generation of the 4 single attribute clans, Niu Ben was the most outstanding one. The next discussion revolved around the future development direction of the Tang sect and the surrounding details. Tang San wasn't preparing to leave for just a short time, and before he left he had to clearly talk over his thoughts with the 4 elders, and guarantee that the Tang sect would be healthy in this time. Just as Grandmaster said, the Tang sect had already stepped onto the right track. Whether the 7 treasure glazed tile school or the Heaven Do Imperial family, they would both unconditionally support the Tang sect. How far the Tang sect would go in the future, still depended on what accomplishments Tang San and the others could produce. A sect with a title DouLuo was entirely different from one without, and a sect with an exceptional title DouLuo was even more so. The Shrek 7 devils all possessed enormous potential, and how to transform that potential into strength enough to contend with Spirit Hall was the biggest problem Tang San faced. At nightfall, Tang San had already returned to his house with a sleeping Xiaowu in his arms, and was just about to start cultivating when he heard the sound of footsteps outside. A low voice asked. Sect Master, are you resting? Tang San left the bedroom, reaching the drawing room outside. Elder Yang, come in. He had long ago guessed that Yang Wudi would come find him, he just didn't know when. Yang Wudi pushed open the door and entered. His nature was always very direct, just like his soul-breaking spear. Sect Master, I have something to tell you. Tang San gestured him to sit. Elder, please speak. Yang Wudi didn't sit, standing there muttering to himself for a moment, then said. Haven't you found it very strange how I could cure Emperor Shuiyi's poison? Tang San said. Presumably the poison is related to Medicine Hall. Or perhaps I should say to Elder's breaking clan. It doesn't matter. If Elder doesn't want to speak, then don't. I trust you. Yang Wudi shook his head, saying. No, I have to tell you about this. I don't want the Tang sect's future relationship with the Heaven Do Empire to be affected because of a breaking clan traitor. Traitor. Tang San's heart twitched, already making a rough guess. Yang Wudi's eyes revealed a trace of frustration, the first time Tang San had seen such an expression from this staunch old man. That's right, Emperor Shuiyi's poison was made by our Medicine Hall. Or perhaps I should say it's a taboo poison of the breaking clan, called Gorgeous 7 Colors 3. Such a poison is made from 7 originally harmless medicines mixed together. Its greatest feature is how it hides. Because the 7 materials used to make it are harmless themselves, they can be successively introduced according to a certain prescription. Even the most cautious person will end up infected. Moreover, if the food is filled with the 7 kinds of materials, it will be immediately poisonous. Just at the beginning it's not violent, but the poisoned will be in constant pain. Gorgeous 7 colors will constantly erode the vitality of the victim, until their life ends. 1 Devil Island, Devil Ghost Island. 2 Sea God Island. 3 Gorgeous 7 colors, 7 colored gorgeous. Finish already, comments, chill.